All right, today we are diving into one of the weirdest, most fascinating stories in all of neuroscience. We're asking, what happens when you literally split a brain in half? Now, I know it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this is a real thing. And what it's taught us is pretty startling, that inside your head, right now, there might be more than one you.
So, let's just jump right in with a story that honestly sounds completely made up, but it's not. Picture this: a man is trying to get dressed, and as he's pulling his pants up with one hand, his other hand starts pulling them back down. He's literally fighting with himself. This isn't a metaphor for indecision. This is a real, documented case of what can happen to a split-brained patient.
So you have to be asking, right? How on earth is that possible? How can one person have two totally opposite goals at the exact same time? It's like his body has two different drivers, and they're both trying to grab the steering wheel. Well, the answer isn't some psychological quirk. It's actually in the physical wiring of our brains.
To solve this bizarre puzzle, we need to look at the brain's actual structure. The key is in the physical connection, or in this case, the lack of connection, between the two halves of our mind.
You see, your brain isn't just one big blob of gray matter. It's actually made of two separate halves, two hemispheres. And the thing that connects them is this massive bundle of nerves called the corpus callosum. Think of it like a super high-speed internet cable that lets the two halves talk to each other constantly, creating what feels to us like one single unified consciousness.
So what happens if you cut that cable? Well, back in the 1940s, surgeons actually started doing this. It was a last-ditch effort for patients with epilepsy so severe that nothing else worked. The idea was, if a seizure starts in one half of the brain, cutting the connection would stop it from spreading to the other. And it often helped, but it also created this incredible, unplanned experiment for science.
For scientists like Michael Gazzaniga, this was an unbelievable opportunity. For the very first time in history, they could actually try to talk to each half of the brain on its own. They could ask the left side a question and see if the right side had any clue what was going on. Now, the key to all of these experiments is something that sounds complicated but is actually pretty simple. The brain is cross-wired. Basically, everything on the right side of your body, your right hand, your right foot, what your right eye sees, is all processed by the left side of your brain. And you guessed it, everything on the left side is handled by your right brain. This simple fact is what let researchers basically isolate and talk to one hemisphere at a time.
Okay, and here is the most important piece of the puzzle for our story. Check out this chart. Both sides see things, both sides control a hand. But, and this is a huge but, only the left hemisphere can talk. The language centers are over there. The right hemisphere, it understands things, it can see, it can feel, but it's completely mute. It has no voice. And that one fact changes everything.
So check out how this plays out in a real experiment. A picture of a key is flashed to the patient's left eye. That means the image goes only to the nonverbal right brain. So when the doctor asks, "What did you see?" the patient's talking left brain, which genuinely saw nothing, says, "I didn't see anything." But then the doctor says, "Okay, with your left hand, draw what you saw." And that hand, controlled by the right brain, picks up a pen and draws a key. It's wild. One half of the brain saw it, the other half was completely in the dark. Two separate worlds of awareness in one head.
Okay, but this is where it gets even weirder. So what happens next? The talking, logical left brain has just seen the body do something, draw a key, that it has no idea why it did. It never saw a key. So what does it do? Well, it tells a story.
Let's look at another one of Gazzanaga's amazing experiments. He flashes the word smile to the patient's right brain, the silent one. And at the same time, he flashes face to the left brain, the one that can talk. So each half gets a different but kind of related command.
Then the patient is asked to just draw what he saw. So, what do you think he draws? A face? The word smile? Does he get confused and draw nothing? What do you think? What he draws is a smiling face. The two commands got merged into one single action. Somehow, the two minds, with no direct connection, figured out how to work together to produce a single coherent result. It's amazing.
But here is the absolute craziest part. When the researcher asked him, "Hey, why'd you draw a smiling face?" the patient's left brain, which, remember, never saw the word smile, didn't hesitate. It didn't say, "I don't know." It just instantly made up a perfectly logical reason. It confabulated a story to make sense of the action.
Gazzaniga gave this a name, and it is perfect: the left brain interpreter.
Think of it like a little storyteller that lives in the left side of your head. Its job 24/7 is to create a running narrative that makes sense of everything you do, think, and feel. And here's the kicker. When it's missing a piece of information, it doesn't stop. It just fills in the blank with a plausible story. Its goal isn't to be accurate. Its goal is to create a story that feels coherent.
Okay, so if the left brain is our inner narrator, the one spinning the yarn of our lives, what about the right brain? Is it just this silent passenger, going along for the ride? Well, not quite. It has its own very distinct way of seeing the world.
This is shown so perfectly with these paintings by Arcimboldo, who made portraits out of things like fruit and flowers. When you show one of these to a split-brain patient, their left brain immediately sees the big picture. It's a face. But the right brain? It sees something completely different. It sees the individual parts. Hey, that's a bunch of flowers and vegetables. Each hemisphere literally perceives a different reality.
And it turns out the right brain is a specialist in a whole bunch of things. It's the part of you that recognizes faces, that gets the emotional tone in someone's voice, that's good with maps and spatial awareness. It's the intuitive, holistic, non-verbal part of our mind. It's the one that gets the vibe. So, this brings us to the really big question, doesn't it? If we have these two very different minds living in one skull, which one is the real you? And the mind-bending answer seems to be that, in a very real way, you are two. You're two distinct consciousnesses that have just gotten so incredibly good at working together that you experience your life as one seamless person. That storyteller in your left brain is so good at its job, you never even notice there's a silent partner in the passenger seat.
And that little storyteller, that left brain interpreter, it's not just looking backwards, trying to explain why you did what you did. More recent research shows it's also a prediction machine. It uses all its past experiences and all the stories it's told itself to constantly guess what's going to happen next. It's creating the expectations that literally shape your future. Which leaves us with one final, pretty heavy thought. If a huge part of what you call yourself is really just a running story written on the fly by one half of your brain using incomplete information, then who or what is actually writing your story?